Booties for Black Girl Nerds.
Oh, what's up, guys? What's up? Oh, Josh. Okay, getting fancy. I see how we
Let's
doing
try to do
tonight,
it one time for
guys.
the one team.
I know, right? All right, yo, we live, y'all. Black Girl Nerds, The Last of Us recap, episode 7. Was going out with a bang tonight. Woo, this episode was crazy. Okay, you notice Jamie is missing. She is out on a secret assignment. You know how you can find out what she's doing, though, right? You got to stay locked. You got to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, all the socials. Follow us, like us, subscribe on YouTube, send us your comments. I'm going to be looking out for those as we go throughout the show. But we got Josh. Giandra hopefully will be landing with us in a minute. You know, we're going to keep the ranting and raving going for Jamie. We're going to hold it down for her while she's out doing her thing.
That's right.
And let's see. Let me go ahead and pop up some comments real quick, though, before we dive in. What's up to the internet? Nacho the Enigma. Hopefully I said that right. He's in the building. How's everyone tonight? We good. How you doing? How you doing? Let us know what's going down. How you felt about episode 7. All right, Josh, let's jump into this. This was crazy. Josh got the wine. I needed wine because I was like, what is going on with my boy Pedro?
Man.
Like, I'm like, come on, my bro. Come on, Mando. We need you to come back. But look, okay. So this is how we started. Ellie manages to find an abandoned house, right? We got a severely wounded Joel. He's struggling to stay alive. Ellie is trying to stop the bleeding. And Joel's like, look, stop. I want you to go north, go find Tommy. You know, he's done. He's trying to give up. And she was like, we know now if Ellie goes too far, right? Joel's not going to make it. Like somebody has to stay with Joel. If she goes, he's not going to make it. So Ellie reaches for the door. And as soon as she hits that doorknob, y'all, boom, flashback. Like we pulled back into Ellie's world. This was like her episode. Josh, how are you feeling about this? But I'm taking us back.
So in the opening segment, like I was with it. It didn't really surprise me that he told her to go back because I could see it has for him. It was like, see, this is why I didn't want to do this in the first place. This is why I told Tommy to go because I knew something was going to happen to me. So I felt it when he was like, no, you got to go. And I was talking to one of my best friends today, and she was like, he dies, right? I was like, I think he doesn't die till the second game. I don't think I'm going to kill him in the first season, but I don't know. So I was like, oh, shoot. Like, maybe she really is just going to get on the horse and like do a, you know, they made the exaggerated, they gave an exaggerated view of the horse. Like they spent so much time on the horse, like shaking the snow off. So I was like, oh, maybe she's really going to do it. And so in my head, I was somewhere else. I was like, oh, snap. She's going to get on a horse. She's going to go back. She's going to go to Tommy. Tommy's going to be like, what? You left him? That means he's going to die. Now Tommy's going to be mad. And Tommy's a killer. So I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen after that. Then he's going to come back and like, hey. So I had a whole thing going on in my head. And when it was a flashback, I was like, huh, where is this going? But that's how I felt. And like,
that's what we had the little one tear drop. But go ahead, Josh. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was like, this is how we had with the one tear drop right there. That was us all night.
No, that was how I felt about the opening. I appreciated that it wasn't like, he's all better now. I was like, no, my man's is down, and a little snow and a handkerchief ain't gonna cut it, and I like that.
Right. And Kim Possible. Ooh, that's a dope name, by the way. Y'all remember Kim Possible? Ooh. Okay, anyway. Yep. Joe was like, he was right. He was like, I screwed things up, beginning to, up being too so. Yeah. Joe is, we Joe, because he trying, y'all. He trying so hard. He trying to be that dad that's taken care of, but it's just not, it ain't coming through. He's trying so hard. And he was hanging on, and he was like, "Just go, just leave me." But we know now. We know we can't leave our boy Joel like just up in the cab with the horse, bleeding now and stuff. We got the song. You say what?
I say we can't leave him before he sings the song. He got to sing for us.
I know he got to sing the song. Like seriously, speaking of songs though, let's get into this next scene because during this scene, I just want to say I heard "Hopeless Situation." I don't know who sings the song or anything like that, but it was like so. I was like, this is the worst music to jog to ever in life. But anyway, so Ellie is jogging at this training. Go ahead, Josh. What are you gonna say?
I said, no, yeah, you're right. The music she was jogging to was not compelling.
Yeah, this was the worst song. Like, you need some pumped up music. Like, I don't know what she was jogging to. But anyway, we got Ellie jogging at a training camp. We got a girl named Bethany who appears to be a bully, right? Because she rips off her headphones and she says that her friend isn't here anymore to help her. And Ellie punches her in the face. Ellie ain't playing no games. And then now all of a sudden we get Ellie is seated in front of Captain Kwong. And she's ready for disciplinary action. And Ellie wants to cut him off at the chase. She's putting up this whole, like, this whole Ellie thing. You know how she do. She like, I
Mhm.
ain't worried about it. She leaned back in the chair. She like, okay, it is what it is. But Captain Kwong is like trying to help her. He's like, he suggests, basically he suggests that she swallow her pride and become an officer. And he says he sees that Ellie is a leader, and he gives her the cup and the keys. And I thought that was so cool how he was like, "Look, I get what your game is, but you got two options, right? This is the world we live in, and you got two options, so pick one." So yeah, I like how I like how he came real with it. Let me, Josh, go ahead and tell us what you think. I'm gonna pop up some of you guys' comments as Josh gives us his take on Ellie's trying to be tough. Y'all, she's like, I ain't got time for this disciplinary action. Don't tell me nothing.
Right. I mean, she hit him with them gangsters lines. She's like, "Can we just cut to it? Just put me in the hole." I was like, "Dang,
Mm-hmm.
just straight like that." I know it's frowned upon today, but back in the day, kids, if you misbehaved at home, particularly in black households, you got what was called a whooping, and that was disciplinary
Yeah,
action.
yeah.
And every
Mm-hmm,
most
mm-hmm.
kids, the whooping would get you in line, and you don't want to do it no more. But every now and again, you had that one child who just the whoopings just didn't matter. And that's the
And there
energy I
she
got.
go, right there.
Go ahead, beat me. Give me the spanking. Hey, can we get this over with? Give me the spanking and send me to my room. That
Yep,
was all
yep.
the energy that I got. Um, but no, I thought so. Jumping forward just a little bit, I did
Right, yeah,
feel
yeah.
like pieces of this episode were it didn't feel as seamless as past episodes, and I feel like this was the
Okay.
last scene where everything felt like it was together. Then it seemed to like go off, but for this scene I liked that he did see something in her and it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
because um he wasn't giving her special treatment because her blood was special. We already know like later on down the line once they realize that she can't be infected or that the cure whatever she is like the being hit by the clickers doesn't mess her up. And so that's why she was given preferential treatment down the line, but he didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he genuinely was looking out for her, and I was like, "That's cool." And I also appreciate this. This might be the old man in me. I appreciated just the way he delivered that lesson of which I mean many of us know at this point, but I feel like there's a generational divide as far as like sometimes
Right.
you gotta in order to do what you want to do, you gotta do what you don't like doing for a period of time. And like that's always the case for everybody. It doesn't matter. At some point, you're going to have to do something you don't like in order to do the thing that you want. You're going to have to endure. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
have to push through, and it does. It there's no such thing as the perfect scenario. Almost, I feel like perfect scenarios. If there was a such thing as a perfect scenario, it would strip us of our ability to reach our actual potential, and that's why perfect
Yeah.
scenarios exist. And I like that he was telling her, it's like, yeah, look, you're dope. You're not afraid. Like your spirit can't be broken. All these things, but you ain't got no self control.
Yeah.
You can't endure. And if you can't do that, like the thing that you want, you'll never have. So sometimes you just gotta no diss to anyone who works at McDonald's, but sometimes you gotta work at McDonald's before you can run the corporation. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta put
Yeah, it's
in
true. It's
a
true.
late night at the gas station after you take your classes in order to get your master's degree. Like it's not always going to be optimal. And I like the way that he was just real about it. And then like
Yep.
it was so genuine because after she made her decision, he's like, all right, cool. And he just picked up his book. She's like, that's it. He's like, yeah. So I'm like, it wasn't even no like consequence or like he wasn't even coming down on her being demeaning. It's like, oh, you made your decision. All right, we good then. And here's your Walkman. Peace.
Thank
So
you.
I
Exactly. She's like, "Oh,
felt
can I
real
get my
about
Altman?" Mm.
yeah. But no, I really enjoyed that scene.
What's up, Michelle Moreau? She said, "I like how the captain laid out his options." Yep, yep. I like how he kept it real nice and simple. He like, look, like Josh said, you can't. You gotta crawl before you walk. Like you ain't just gonna go up there and it's gonna be all gravy. Like the world you in. So, the captain was trying to help. What's up, Michael? By the way, thank you for joining. Give us your comments. But
That's
yeah,
good.
he's it's not gonna be easy. You know what I mean? Like it's never gonna be laid out like nice. And they in post-apocalyptic, like it's crazy out here on these streets. Like your world ain't gonna be easy. You gotta go with the flow.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep it. Speaking of flow, let's keep it pushing because we about to get into my girl Storm Reed here. I liking this. I like how she came into the episode. I like this. Okay, so someone sneaks into Ellie's room. We think Ellie kind of in check now. She gave a little talking to. She in her room sleeping now, trying to get herself together, take on that leader role. But someone sneaks in her room, right? Put a hand over her mouth. She resists, and then she sees it's Riley, aka Storm Reed, in the building. By the way, love Storm acting her tail off. All I thought was Wrinkle in Time. Love her, by the way. Like this is such a cool casting to have both of them together, her and Bella.
Yeah.
But Josh, what's your favorite Storm Reed movie?
Ooh.
I put you on the spot. You need to think
You
about
sure
it.
did.
I can finish reading while you think about it.
Yeah. Let me think about it. I was like, oh snap.
All right. He was like, don't be playing. Okay, let me go back to this. All right. So Ellie is shocked to see that since Riley has been gone for 3 weeks, y'all. She thought she was gone. She thought she was dead, right? But Riley, said she just needed to run away for a while. Riley missed the Ellie that she joined the Fireflies. And she convinces Ellie to come with her to have the best night of her life. Okay. She done showed up after 3 weeks. She like, look, you about to have the best night of your life. I need you to come with me. And we get a little bit of action here from the Fireflies because we ain't been able to find them lately. So they don't pop back up, in this scenario with Riley. And also I need to mention here, we got to take it back to the game for thosE of you. And I did a lot of like watching the game where I need to go play. So, but apparently, in The Last of Us Left Behind, the expansion pack for the first game, they focus on Ellie trying to find a way to heal Joel, and you get these flashbacks with Riley. So there you go, people that's been out there playing the game and everything. And also, I should mention too, looking at some of the gameplay and stuff like that, the way we started the episode, I thought was unique as well because we just see like Ellie getting some rabbits and stuff in the game, and we know that she's done something kind of to help with Joel, but we don't get the full like. He's like, oh, you need to leave. And she's like, I can save you. It's just, we just pop right into the action because you're running from clickers and stuff and hunters.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how they really got this time to kind of break that down.
Yeah, no, that they're so meticulous with this. It's incredible.
But Joshua, what did you think about like, so somebody puts their hand, first of all, she putting a hand on her mouth in the middle of this apocalypse and you sleeping, trying to chill. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? And then it's like, she like, you about to have, look, I need you to come with me, right? You about to have the best night of your life.
Right. First of all, I just got in a fight that day with my nemesis.
Yeah.
The way I'm coming out my sleep swinging, if your hands on my mouth, there ain't no like, no, like that. Yeah. Whoever it was, homie there would have been a few cuts. I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. That's your fault. Like, you know who I am. You did it to yourself. So that I did think, even though I know they said that Bethany had been like in stitches, in my head, she didn't care and she had come out and it was about to be like a brawl. Especially because like the window closing, that was the part I was like, oh snap, she's about to get. But I thought it was cool. I mean, I could see obviously where it was going in that moment. I think Storm Reed is very good with her, I don't want to say micro expressions, but with her like kind of like how Pedro Pascal is, like with the in-between kind of like subtle expressions, like the eye flicker, the head twist. Ooh, you can kind of see that for Riley from jump. That you can see where it's going.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I was just like, I just don't want us to spend a whole lot of time here because in the back of my head, I'm like, Pedro's bleeding out. What's happening with him?
It's a weird time. Yeah, you're right. It's a weird little time in this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this is cute, and like this is I all the respect and love, but like, huh? And I think I was also wanting, I was wanting like, I was wanting some connective tissue, and that's why I said like it felt a little disjointed because like she's supposed to be helping Joel. He tells her to leave. She goes to the door. She has the flashback. She flashed back to standing up to the bully when her protector is not there, and then she goes up to the captain. The captain says, "You're a leader." So I'm like, okay, somewhere between taking care of someone you care about, not running away, and being a leader, that this next installment of the story is gonna like fuse those two together, and that's what the bulk of the episode is gonna be about. And then it went not that way, and so I was just like, oh, okay, like this is nice, this is cute. I get, coming of age story, all that. But I was just like, but what did God do with being a leader and taking care of Joe? What what does it got to do with that? But nonetheless, I do think Storm sold it. Yeah, I mean, I think she's also one of those actresses where someone was saying this. There's some comedian who was saying, like, every movie Denzel has been in has not been awesome, but you can never say that Denzel didn't do his thing in the project. So Denzel's always dope, even if the project mileage varies. I feel like Storm Reid is one of those. You can put her in anything and she'll shine. Like she's just that good.
Yeah. By the way, Michael is saying I play both games, and they are great, and the show is amazing. Yeah, they do an amazing job with this. And again, if I don't mention it later, shout out to production design again. The way this stuff is matching up and lining up is so just fly. Like I just don't like the way they doing this. Is like it's taking you into that world, and it's so clever how they doing that. People shouting out Storm in here. Michelle Moreau is like love Storm in this role. Yep. Kim Possible saying she's on point. Yeah, she was definitely doing a thing. And like Josh said, you can always, there's like a certain level, right, that you're gonna expect from Storm, which I think I kind of feel like that's why they got her to kind of play with Bella in this. For those who know this, who plays Ellie. And for those of you who are new to the show, but yeah, I love the way they balance each other out in here. I love seeing them kind of, it's not a physical fight, but it's a fight, right? Because they both had these strong personalities.
Yeah, and I love that she
cool knew her. Say it again, Josh.
I was just saying, I love also that she knew her. She's like, I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna say no, but then you're gonna say yes, and that's what happened. I was like, yes, I like.
She wasn't ready for that. Ellie was not. Yep, she likes that. But you could tell she likes to be in control, and she was not ready for Riley. And so I love that. I could see how they like. That's when you start to see that little flirtation later. You like a challenge. I'm just saying, you like a challenge. So let's go to next part here. Riley and Ellie, they're getting ready to leave, right? Okay, she's falling for it. Okay, she wants the best night of her life. They're leaving. So they wander into a building, they go upstairs and they run into a man. The man is dead, right? And we know how Ellie already get down, like they ain't even a bit scared. And Riley's just like, okay, the man wasn't there yesterday. And then all of a sudden you see the floorboard beneath him give way and the guy falls through the floor. And Ellie she walks over there. She found a bottle of liquor near the man, and the two go up to the rooftop in the building. They take a drink, and Ellie's asked Riley why she became a Firefly. Riley says a woman approached her and was impressed with her ability to maneuver around the night, and that's about Phaedra. And Riley says they're fastest, and she said something else too, but we can't say down here. And she should be charged, and they should be charged for the crimes, not the people and the women. And the woman was like, "Okay, cool, you in. That's good. That's all I need to know is that you don't like Phaedra, so you in. We good." Yeah. And Riley says that they're on a mission, and Ellie follows, and they jump over rooftops, and Ellie is still not too sure about this Fireflies. And the Fireflies and Riley join it up, but she's along for the ride, right? It's Riley. Riley asked her to go. We can obviously tell this is her best friend, so she's gonna go. So Josh, what you think about them? They over here jumping on rooftops, sneaking out.
I did, as much as I felt like this part was a departure. I was like, y'all worked in a classic romance moment, like just being on the rooftops and just frolicking. So you guys put frolicking in the show. So definitely hats off to making that work. The discussion on how Riley became a Firefly, I thought was really cool, only because it's like, again, with the subtleties, like there's the extremes of like, there's the good guys and there's the bad guys. There's us and then there's them. And so, earlier we had the captain who seemed really earnest. He's like, I don't care what anyone says. we're we're the final guard. If we're not here, the citizens will destroy themselves. They'll kill each other. And so it's almost like this noble side to Fedra, which is not spread throughout. And then Riley's providing the other side. She's like, yeah, the Fireflies are giving me an opportunity, and they've actually liberated people.
Yep.
And so I'm just like, it's that splitting the difference of nuance. Not to draw too direct a line, but the whole like Democrat Republican thing, and why so many, especially older Black folks, tend to vote Democrat no matter what. And there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, I'm not even like pro-Republican by any means, but just like the history of it. And so like, it's just like when someone shows up for you, when no one else is showing up for you, it kind of breeds a different kind of loyalty. And if you're that person who's doing it off the loyalty part, not the fascism part, any of the other politically manipulative extremes, but when it's just like, yo, I didn't have anyone with power. I didn't have anyone with power showing up for me, and they came through. I'm just like, that wrinkles it a little bit. Yeah. And I think that's what Ellie started to experience, where she's like, oh, like, I'm not super down with who we're with, but I'm also anti-Firefly, but now I can't be because you're a Firefly and you're not evil. So dang. And you can kind of see her start to struggle with that. And I think that's obviously paralleled with her like burgeoning feelings as the night goes on. Also, drinking random alcohol that you found next to a corpse, highly don't recommend. Can't imagine that.
Impossible. Yep. There you go. Yeah. I was about to bring that up. Yep. I was thinking that. Yeah, she was like, I'll be worried about drinking about how some unknown dude. Yeah, that was the number one thing. So y'all this a dead guy, right? You gonna go grab his drink. Like, oh, let's go ahead and
dead guy in the building in the midst of like viruses in people's bodies and like clickers and stuff. And you're just gonna drink it. Also, how you know he didn't piss in it before he died? I'm just like, not Enigma out here wild. So the rules.
Yeah, he said, it don't even matter. Just get the unknown. Bottle of liquor from the unknown man. Just go ahead and grab it. It's cool. Yeah. I don't know about that though. I mean, I know it's germs going around, but come on now, we can prevent some of them. I mean, you don't just picking up the bottles and stuff.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. Yeah, me and Josh gonna have to leave that one behind. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so Riley's interested in heading to the mall. So we get into the mall, which I thought was a cool little interesting thing. But Ellie's still reluctant because she heard it was full of the infected, right? We bringing back some of this common sense. We still in this world, right? Trying to head to this mall. And however, Riley says it's sealed off and she wonders why. And as Ellie is walking inside, Riley turns on the lights and Ellie is just amazed. Like, you got this whole abandoned mall. You got these two young women, they ready to fun. They done skip school. They ready to go. So Riley says she's going to show her around, and then she turns on the escalator, and Ellie is just like, oh my gosh. Like, her eyes just get big. She starts going crazy. And as far as Riley's character in the game goes, she's only mentioned in The Last of Us, but she does appear in the second game. So maybe you guys can fill us in some comments on that about her appearing into the second game. But yeah, so we're in this mall, guys. Ellie's going up and down that escalator, y'all. She going ham. Like, she getting into it now. Josh, did you play on the escalator?
Nah, man. I had two very Black parents. You don't play on the escalator. You don't get no candy. You don't get no toys playing on the escalator.
I'm just trying to pretend like I didn't get jacked up for a minute. I just wanted to live for a minute. I just wanted to pretend like my parents wasn't like trying to jack me up as soon as I try. Like you take that one step and they like, that's a no. That's
right,
a no.
Yeah.
Stay right here.
Parents still snatched necks back in my day. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was about to act up, but you know what? I ain't no more. I'll tell you one thing though. There's a huge gap between me and my sisters. My I think it's like an 8 year gap. She was messing around on escalator one time. And she slipped, and that's when she found out that metal is unforgiving. Jabbed into her leg. They had to like bandage it up, and I wasn't with them. They were also going to the movies, so she had to have like her leg elevated. I'm like, see, that's why you don't play on the escalator.
Dang, man. Yep. All right, Ellie, you better sit down. I ain't trying to save, but I'm just saying.
Right. But I did appreciate, again, like the the childish wonder. I think they do a very good job of reminding us that Ellie grew up during like horrific times. So like the before times she doesn't have any memory of. So seeing like the mall completely lit up and seeing an escalator, it's kind of, for me as like an adult, it reminds me of those times where it's like, if you go on vacation or even you just get out of the city and you remember, oh, like the mountains look really pretty right now. Like the sky looks really blue, just like the everyday beauties that we take for granted. And so seeing her experience I hate going to the mall again. I'm old and it's filled with teenagers, terrible place. But it did make, I remember though, you go to the mall and it's like it's so bright and there's so many things. It just feels like endless possibility when you're a teenager. And I think Bella sold that completely.
Oh yeah. She was ready to go. She was having a whole bunch of fun. Yeah, I like her eyes just lighten up and everything. And you forget too that Ellie doesn't know all this stuff. Like Riley is older as well. I think she ends up mentioning later on that she's about to turn like 17 or somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So she's had more experience in this world. So it's just gonna be so fascinating as we keep going here. Like Ellie's eyes just keep like they getting bigger and bigger. It's like, what? You get to do all this stuff? You guys gave this up? What? So it's crazy to kind of see her walk. Okay. So now that we kind of making our way through the mall a little bit here, Riley takes Ellie to a carousel and they get on a ride. And then Ellie starts to look over at Riley and she get a little heart eyes, maybe something going on here. Cause things go down when you're on a carousel. Let's just keep it 100. So, she feeling the emotion and then the carousel stops. And Ellie tries to convince Riley to lead the fireflies and Riley refuses, saying, refuses, saying that Kawan put her on sewage duty. Oh, she's talking about Captain Kwong here, put her on sewage duty. That's we kind of get to the root of why Riley is like, yo, peace, I'm out. So, who want to be put on sewage duty? And she's like, that's what they think of her. She feels like she's less than. So she went out and seeked out this woman that's part of the Firefly. She's like, yeah, I'm down. I mean, I ain't got nothing going on. At this academy, they're trying to train me. They got me out here. So this is what we're doing. And Riley says Ellie is the one thing that she misses from the place. And Ellie and Riley, they then go into a photo booth and take pictures. I'm just like, I just got to mention, like, I don't know if you guys do the post, like after the show, like kind of hang around and listen to the showrunner Craig Mays and Neil Druckmann kind of talk about it. But they were talking about this is like missing school on like a post-apocalypse. Like you just get out of school, but it's during the post-apocalypse. So you just go and party up. But that's what they're doing. Like they're like, oh, okay, we ain't worried about that exam. I can study that later. It's all good. Let's just go to the mall and have fun.
Yeah.
But she's still like, it's Last of Us. She's still like, it's the clicker like around the corner or like what's about to go down. But they like, let's hop into the photo booth, which I feel like might be the safest place right now, Josh. Like, I don't know about you, but I feel like one of the most safest choices they made because it was closed in for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Noisy, like enclosed.
Yeah. Because they were super loud everywhere else. I'm like, y'all real bold right now. The carousel scene was super, super dope. I think it also paired nicely with the lingerie moment, the Victoria's Secret moment. Because for me, I'll tell you one thing. If I'm with my boy, he's like, yeah, I was just picturing you in the thong right now. That's a whole insinuation there. And Ellie's just been like, oh, it's like that. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I was dying with that. But the carousel, like you said, it's for teenagers, like that's it. Like you can't afford real horses. This is it. This is your romantic getaway. You're just going around and around on the lights. And I like how movies do such a good job about making like the carousel, I feel like, more interesting than it is in actual real life, because they just make it look so whimsical, magical. I'm like, oh, up and down, and beautiful, just gazing to each other's eyes. Also, I can't tell if Bella is short or Storm is tall, but I did start to notice the height differential between them.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, good point. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, they both seem like they had on. Well, no, Storm's shoes look like they was a little elevated. I don't know if we have a picture, but they like this one kind of.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
well, See, I don't
A
know
little bit.
then.
Hard
Yeah.
to tell.
Maybe they just made it a little, maybe she's a little bit shorter. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
But no,
realize. Yeah, so you might be a little shorty.
hey, you
She's
can pick
like,
up the shorties and have some fun. Um, but but no, I thought it was a cute moment. I thought that I thought slash hoped that was where the like the climax of their love story was going to happen, and then we would start to bend it back into like, okay, what's happening with Joe, mama, and they obviously did not do that. So I was like, okay, we're really gonna
yeah.
like stretch this out. Um, but again, just the further it seems like the writers wanted us to really sit with um the implications of both their decisions, that it
Yeah.
wasn't easy for either one of them, which I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But I did think it was cute, and the phone booth thing. I appreciated the fact that the pictures did not come out clear. I was like, what an attention to detail, because of course the ink and all that would have been dried out.
Yep.
I loved that particular moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. They had so much attention to detail, like you said, like just paying attention to where we are now and what's gonna
Mhm.
work. And yeah, I mean, and I like how you keep pulling us back, Josh, because I was having so much fun watching like Ellie kind of call out Riley that I forgot that we still got a whole Joel. Like, where's Joel at right now? So
Yeah,
you the reality pulling us all back because we got caught up in this
was all
because
that was in the
the
back of my
nigga,
head.
he's like, I can smell the arcade. Yeah, I was like him. Like, he talking about I smelled the arcade. I was doing all this stuff. Like, I was looking at all the stuff going on in the mall, but
The
it's like,
arcade was
yo,
dope.
Joe's still hurting. Yeah, somebody said I don't Kim Possible said I don't blame Raleigh for looking for a better option.
Mhm.
Raleigh is a grunt. Captain Kwong described. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
this place ain't really showing off, you know what I mean? So
yeah, they
yeah, they
did.
made the creators made the magical, the midst of the apocalypse. Yeah, in the midst of apocalypse. Like, I like these last couple episodes. They giving us like magical moments before, even though Doom is like right here. You still get
Yeah,
these really cool magical moments.
yeah, yeah.
Somebody, Kim Possible giving us the like 5'1". She give us the actual height. Okay.
Hey,
Miller
that's what I'm
short
talking about.
5'1".
Man's
Okay,
doing
okay.
research. But
Yeah,
I
Michael,
did
that
also
was
relate
amazing.
with
Yeah.
I did also
Go ahead,
relate
Josh.
with Riley. It's like when she said that, she's like,
Mm,
that's what they think of me. And it might sound weird to say, but I'm glad they didn't make it overtly racial. I'm glad they kept it
okay,
right
yeah,
there. That's what they think
yeah.
of me, because I feel like that's something everyone has experienced. I'm out here putting in the
Mhm.
same work that everyone else is. I'm not falling behind. My grades are good. I'm doing the workouts, but whatever. And y'all just gonna toss me aside. Um, and
Right.
everyone's been there. Everyone's had that moment where it's like, I'm just as qualified, but you acting like I'm not for whatever reason. And it's almost worse when you
Yeah.
don't know, because then you're forced to speculate. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, I felt her. It's like, yeah, if I put in all the work and you're gonna put me in the sewers, and homegirl's like, you're excellent, you do excellent spy work at night. Here's a gun and some materials to make explosives. Sign me up. I'm out. I'm
Right.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they say create your own opportunities, right? So she was like, look, that's what y'all gonna do. So yo,
Right.
fly it is. They give you another option. So, speaking of like the enigma here, he's talking about he smells the arcade. So let's get into this little arcade scene they got going here. So they headed into the arcade, and Ellie says it's the most beautiful thing she's ever seen, which I think this is so just great for all you gamers out there, the female gamers. These two women, like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And they head over and they start playing Mortal Kombat 2. Never played it. Need to get my game life together. I have not played it yet, but this made me want to play it. So Ellie is Raiden and Riley is Melina. Let me know if I definitely pronounced those wrong. But if you recall in episode 2, Ellie saw a Mortal Kombat arcade and was drawn to Melina in her fatality and a fatality move. And Riley uses the same move for Ellie and beats her in the game. Meanwhile, though, let's flash back to reality. Josh, like, y'all come back. So while they playing Mortal Kombat, yo, the dude is waking up. Like, the infected is waking up. Like, something's going on. And Riley and Ella, they still playing. They have no idea.
Yeah.
And then, we get this cute little moment where Riley's like, "Oh, I got you a gift, Ellie." And she's like, and they get a pun joke book. So we see where the whole joke book thing is coming down to, like, why Ellie's obsessed. And this is actually a nod to the game because Ellie reads a lot of these puns and stuff like that to Joel throughout their little journey. So now we see why she's torturing Joel. That was Ellie and Riley's own little moment. That was her way, obviously their way to escape as kids. Like, you want to have a little fun. You already like fighting for your life, running all the time, so you want to escape a little bit.
Yeah, a good bad joke will do that for you.
But also too, I like how they both didn't know what was the screenshot. They both didn't know what a screenshot was.
That was great. That was such a good joke. I love that. They had no idea what screenshots were. That was amazing.
They're like, what are you talking about? Let's see what Michael's talking about over here. Let me pop him up. It brought back memories for me. LOL. Love playing Mortal Kombat 2 in the arcade. Man, I gotta get my game skills up. Everybody playing Mortal Kombat. The Enigma, big up to the producers telling everyone how to do the what's that? Baraka's fatality and MK2. See, look, I'm over here struggling with pronunciation. I gotta get my game up, Josh. I gotta get myself together over here. Let's see.
That was really cool. And I love seeing, even I was like, oh wow, Mortal Kombat 2, and seeing just like obviously I think Mortal Kombat 12 is about to come out, and seeing just like the intensity of what the fatalities are now, just how they've just like evolved it versus then. And obviously like the graphics have changed, but seeing that it's always been brutal. Like she inhaled them and spit out the bones. I'm like, that is some gangster stuff right there. That is incredible.
It was hardcore. It looked nasty, but it was hardcore.
I didn't know what was happening at first. I was like, did this turn into a whole God, it's a fatality. Got it. Okay. All right.
They was ready to go with that. It was like, all right, let's get into this Mortal Kombat. But I like how they gave us like a moment to kind of stay there while they was really battling. I was like, they really better spend all these coins. Oh, and can you imagine y'all being able to go into like a Dave & Buster's, just pop that machine open and get all the stuff? You don't have to spend your own money. Just be like, bloop, and just get like, I was just like, oh my gosh, to be able to go into the arcade and do that. Like, this show is like living dreams. I'm just saying, you don't have to pay like fill a car and put a whole bunch of money on it. Oh my God.
These are facts.
That stuff is crazy. Let's see what y'all saying about this game real quick. Me and my cousins both said, how did she know how to do the moves? Yeah, Ellie picked up the moves. Riley knew, like Riley was good, but I think Ellie just picked them up quick. I'm thinking
Ellie played the way I play, which is button mash, which is what Riley told her. Riley's like, just press the buttons. I'm like, that's exactly how I play Mortal Kombat. I have time to be. You can get lucky doing that. Is in this segment also the moment where, because I know she says she has a gift. I think the gift is in the next thing that you're about to cover. Or no, you did the gift. You did, yeah. The pun book.
She gave her the gift because I think she was trying to like bail out. She was like, "Yo, I got stuff to do. I can't stay here all night." Because they was having little cutesy moments about
and I
game.
like that.
Like,
I like that because like they had come together, and Ellie thought they were about to have like their kiss moment, and then Riley kept going, and then Ellie was just crushed, and that's when she decided to bail. And I was like, again, I'm thinking about my man Joel, who's bleeding out. Can we please get back to that? But the subtlety of that, like Bella is just, she absolutely demolished that scene, just with like her between like longing and then just like sealing it up, and it's like, never, you know what, I'm out. I don't want to do it anymore. So yeah, and then the pun thing was great.
And this moment too kind of also brought Ellie back a little bit. I feel like now we're getting back to reality. We're getting back to where Josh lives as we kind of get these last couple moments here, because Ellie wasn't feeling this. Okay, so Ellie sees a Firefly weapon and she's upset since she knows that it's used to kill soldiers. And then she's drawn. It then dawns on her that Riley is actually at the mall to guard it, and Ellie was brought there under false pretenses. We all know something's going on with Riley here. Mm-hmm. And Riley confesses to Ellie that she's leaving and that she's been sent to a post in Atlanta, QZ. And Riley asked Marlene if she could bring Ellie, and Marlene was like, nah, but she ended up, which is, it's kind of salty because it's like, I think Marlene ended up getting Ellie later. So I'm like, girl, you could just have Ellie and Riley. Like, what you doing?
Right.
But Marlene was like, nah, we just going with Raleigh, it's good. And Raleigh says tonight is her last night in Boston. And then she has to say goodbye. Ellie's like, yo, I'm done. Ellie storms off. She's like, because they was getting all flirty, having fun in the Halloween store and stuff. And she like, yeah, see, I know you like me, right? But deuces, because I gotta go to Boston, so I'm out. So yeah, that's rough. Like you get that first crush, and they like, I gotta move on. There's other things to do.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the drama of teenage angst and romance brought all together. I was like, oh yeah. And honestly, it's not just teenagers. I'm like, I know in the adult world, it's like, oh, you are wasting my time. I'm out. I ain't got time for this. I thought we was doing a thing. Bye-bye. We are not doing a thing. I see ya. Ya. There's a lot of fish in the sea. I don't need to go fishing. Matter of fact, I got food at home. Bye. I'll be at home in my bed, minding my business. I felt.
Hold up. Let me throw this in right here because you talk about love right here, Josh. Michael is saying in the game, Riley kisses her back. Oh, okay.
Oh,
we got more kisses in it. We got more kisses in the game. But go ahead, Josh. Continue on. I mean, interrupt you. Continue on.
No, you're good. I appreciate Michael being here because isn't that in the DLC? Like, I love gamers who are like all in. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, he giving us all the details. Tell us all the stuff.
But yeah, so like that part, like I felt, and just her storming out, and then really thinking about it, and it's like, well, is this what I really want our last moment to be? And then going back, I'm just like, big ups to her for doing that. That's it's not a decision we always make. But good on her for trying. Now, gotta say, had it been me and I went back and I opened the door and all the lights were off, nah, that's my sign from God that the goodbye has already happened, and I'm gonna keep going back to the base where there's guns and safety because all them lights is out. And
yep, check out the deuces. I've been like, yeah, it was cool, but because that's a definite sign in a scary movie. You never go back. Like, nah, keep it pushing.
Yeah, as soon as you see that start, so, you got one. Like, I love you, girl. Bam.
Exactly. That's what she should have did. But we all know Ellie. So let's get into this last little part. Lord help her. So Ellie stops and then she head back, y'all. And she she hears screaming and she runs for Riley. But it's a false alarm. It's the sound of some Halloween toy that's in there. And Ellie is upset that she said that she is enjoying this. She said she is enjoying this for one night. And now Riley is leaving. And Riley says the Fireflies chose her and she matters to them. And Ellie says she's going to miss her. I was like, oh, because, Riley didn't know she mattered to Ellie. And Ellie was like, look, you can't leave. You matter to me. That's like when Ellie gets her like serious voice, she's like, look, I'm not doing any jokes with this. Look, I'm going to miss you.
Yeah.
So, you see that emotion start swelling up in her, right? And then Riley, she tells Riley, don't go. And she reaches in and kisses her, y'all. Like they was like, this went from like the fun, just like friends hanging out and them trying to avoid each other. She goes in for the kiss. And you know what happens though when you find your romance in The Last of Us, the infected come out. They came out of nowhere. They start attacking Ellie and Riley. Ellie manages to kill it, or she thinks. She doesn't. She does eventually kill it. But this whole scene of them going back and forth, and the thing is like throwing them in and stuff. They got the knife. They got more weapons than Joel has. So, hey, they do it better. They got the knife and the gun ready to go. But we do eventually see Ellie manage to kill it, but it's bitten, it's infected both of them. So that's how we kind of, leave with the both of them in that story. And then we cut back to Joel slowly dying. And now we're getting back to what Josh saying. We got our boy Joel still bleeding out over here. And Ellie she clicks back into him. She's like, okay, let me start looking around. Let me find something if I can patch him up. She's now realizing that she's got to hang on, to him. She can't lose him like this. And then we go back to the scene of them at the in the Halloween store, and Riley goes over their options of how to die. Okay, they're infected, right? We know what that means in this world. And she ends up on the fact of realizing, I thought this was so powerful, that they just need is whatever time they have left, it's what they have left. They just need to be with each other. They realizing love each other. They have this bond. They like lashes because she's like, I'm not gonna take myself out, because that's what I was in my head. I was like, oh God, I do not want to watch this scene, because I thought that's what was gonna happen.
Yeah,
but they
not
both
again.
like go ahead, Josh.
No, I said I don't want to see it again, like what they did with Sam and his
Yeah.
brother. Don't.
Yeah, we ain't here for that. I was like, nah, don't do my girl Storm like that. I was like, we ain't about to go out like that. So yeah, she was like, look, we just going. They held hands and they like, look, this is what we're gonna do. And then we get to see Ellie go back, and finally somebody is patching up Joel. It's about time. We've been waiting this whole time. Finally, and I don't know how he was doing it. He didn't have no alcohol, nothing. Like he just turned, like dude is just in pain. His head is turned to the side, and she just stitching y'all like as fast as she can, like hoping he hold on, but. I'm telling you, shout out to Joel and his and the pain tolerance level in this show, because I'm like, dude is going through it. It's insane. But she finally did what Josh said. She stepped up. She was like, she was gonna take care of Joel, because we like, what is happening? Joel is bleeding out on this little cot with a little jacket over top of what is going down. So what you got, Josh? Josh, take us home. What you thought about this ending right here?
First of all, it was a lot that happened at the end there.
Oh, it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah. When she went in for the kiss, like I thought they did a good job with that moment. The whole like dancing on the thing. I do think we could have gotten there like 25 minutes sooner, but I'm not in the showroom. I'm not the showrunner. But yeah, no, I thought that was cute, and like the pulling off of the mask. I appreciated their restraint and not over sexualizing the moment. Like it really did feel like, oh, like it's new and like it's hesitant, and like as opposed to like, I mean, it's HBO. They could have gone for the sloppy easily, and they didn't. Like they kept it real, just like they kept it nice and just like sweet, and I appreciate it, which they did in the third episode as well, like by the piano. Like it was just a nice sweet thing. And I love that. I like, because that to me that feels just very romantic.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was nice. And then I just I think we talked about this last week with Joel. I just don't understand, like, so you have these people being trained as soldiers, these people being trained as fireflies, but none of these people can shoot for nothing. Nobody can shoot. Like I don't understand. Y'all can't shoot these clickers. Like it just you always miss.
They like stormtroopers in training, can't shoot nut.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Because I was like, oh, she's been trained. She got both trainings. I'm like, she about to light this clicker up, just like pap pap pap. And and then you like tripping over the stuff in the mall. I'm like, what happens in training? I thought you could move in the dark. What is this? That was just me. That's just me nitpicking. But obviously I haven't played both games, as we've firmly established. I couldn't get past, I think, the first episode's worth of game content in that one building. It just couldn't do it. So I was like, oh, maybe Riley has, I mean, this is childlike language. I was like, maybe Riley has magic blood too, and that would be an interesting like reveal and or twist. Because so far it's been like Ellie's the one. Kind of like, I mean, we already mentioned Star Wars, kind of like when Obi-Wan's like, well, Luke went to fight Vader, this fool's about to get capped, and that's it. And Yoda's like, actually, there's another Skywalker out there. We got one in the bag. So I was like, okay, maybe that's Riley. So that would be interesting, especially because, like you said, they didn't kill each other. And that was, I mean, I appreciate the rawness. She's like, we got two options. We can put this lead in our brains, or we can just ride it out the time that we got. And again, there's something extra romantic and sweet about that. Like the time that we have is the time that we have. And that's the most important thing. I think they do a really, for the love stories in The Last of Us, I think they've done a really good job of highlighting the significance of a moment. And then then we come back to my man bleeding out. I'm glad that she was like, sewing them back together. But in my head, I was like, how does this tie into the rest of the episode? Wasn't nowhere else in the episode where she like, demonstrated sewing abilities or had to like bring someone back. So I'm just like, I don't know about the bookshelf, the book endings on this episode. That the middle was good and the ends were good. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, and it kind of started too, like when when she had the drink. Like you thinking about this little girl trying to drag him to the barn, wherever they were at the
Yeah,
house, and like that strength that must have took out of her to drag him, and now she saw him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, no, they just want us to chalk it up to Ellie a gangster, but they not really giving us like, we ain't seeing all her skill set formulate.
right,
But it's just like we just got to come to that conclusion. So you're right. I
right.
mean, there was some things in this episode where I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right, I guess that's
yeah,
what we're doing.
yeah. But I will
Let me
say,
get to some of the comments. Go ahead, Josh.
yeah,
While you do it, I'm gonna try to like put these up. Kim Possible, yeah, they had some reggae dance moves.
reggae dancers. She was doing it.
Riley in there. Yep. Let me see. Kim Possible sitting was all of us. The episode explained why Ellie could not leave Joe. It did. Yeah, we finally get to see her. Like, I can't leave. I feel like she just go ahead and be like dad, because it's like her dad basically. Now she can't leave her dad
Right.
hanging out. And look, I'm talking about Kim Possible pointed this out too. I'm talking about he turned his head. He probably passed out. You're probably right. He probably passed out when she started sewing him up, because that looked painful. I was like, oh my God. Like she just dug right. And like the little string she had, and as far as she had to go, I was like, well, I would have passed it. I don't even know how he was looking a little bit. I've been out. I was like, yeah, I'm done. And yeah, the Enigma talking about the bullets. Yes, headshot people. We need some headshots. What you doing?
That's it. Oh my goodness. But I will say, as much as I was like, giving them the elbow in the ribs for this episode. One,
yeah,
this has been such a strong series. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I've watched probably 50 surplus episodes of Dragon Ball Z. That could have been like 3 episodes. So that's fine.
Right.
But also I do want to give like the writers and creators their roses, because one of the things I realized, I was like, they're taking the time for this whole thing, but I'm like, they have done such a good job getting me invested in Ellie and believing everything about her experience, that I didn't need 40 minutes to believe that this girl was significant to her, that she and Riley had like a thing. It's like, y'all could have given it to me in 15 minutes and I would have taken that as gospel truth, because you guys have done such a good job so far, like making me believe everything about her. So I think that was also part of it. It's kind of like to make it a little salacious. It's like, you ain't got to try that hard. I'm willing to give it up. Like, it's you won. You got it. Like, you can stop. You have done more than enough. Like, you don't have to do all this. Like, I'm in. I already believe it. So, that's what it is. But nonetheless, I wouldn't say it was a bad episode. Again, maybe not as seamless as the prior ones, but still chock full of great moments, and like we said, so many homages to the game. I hope film studios are taking a look at what they're doing set wise, because I don't want to see no more questionable green screen stuff in Hollywood productions after this, because this is flawless.
Yeah, and I've heard that they don't have, like, it's been hard. Like, a lot of people, were second guessing. It's been hard going from that gaming world, then you go to the TV show world, because you used to just that, like, somebody sitting at a controller, it's just go. Like, you don't have to really explain the story that much. Like you said, too much use of the green screen. Like, take us into these sets. Like, a lot of the crew has been talking about how they're building, like they were building that Victoria's Secret thing. Like, they were working on these sets to make sure, like, the store, like, to make sure it matches up. Because they don't want a repeat of, like, so many times. They, whenever they try to go from the game world to the TV world, they lose a lot of people because it's not that consistency, and they're paying attention to every little detail. So, that's why they got that season 2 hookup. That's why they keep us coming back, because, they paying attention to what we need as the fans, the fan service. Like, everybody been talking about the game constantly on social media. They paying attention. They reading the comments, because they like, we better keep this tight.
Yeah.
And the casting, like, I can't believe it. Like, as we keep going, I can't wait to see what else they got to cast. Like, the casting is just on point. Like, I've never seen a show that is just really driving. Like, it's always here. Like, everybody to meet your main actors. It's just like one of every episode. It's like they just staying with each other. So yeah, I mean, this is cool. Thank you, everybody that's been putting in the comments. I'm trying to see if y'all add any more while we've been talking. But yeah, everybody's been putting a lot of stuff in the comments here. Let's see, Kim Possible hitting it up. Somebody, Michelle, like poor Joe. Yeah, yeah, that's what we was thinking towards the end of this. That's how I was in. We was like poor Joe. We was like, we don't know what we gonna do. But yeah, and somebody, Michael's like, there's gonna be a lot of set work for season 2. For the second season, oh yeah, they're gonna go in. Like they're gonna make sure. Like it's gonna be a lot of set work. They about to get it done.
I hope the set
But
work
yeah,
is
I
getting
mean,
raised.
so oh yeah. Oh yeah, they need a raise because they keeping this thing on point. But yeah, we about to see y'all. I think this is the calm. We still in the calm before the storm. Even though we had a clicker
Hmm.
action, I feel like we still in the calmness of it, and we getting to see a little magic. But we get close to that finish line. It's about to turn up. I don't know if we ready. I think it's about to turn up. We getting close.
How many
But
how
yeah,
many
so thank you.
episodes are in this season? Do we know?
I think it's 8. From what I checked, I think it's 8. No, it might be.
Well,
Well,
next week
actually,
is
no,
the
maybe 8 or 9
finale.
because I know they're not going to end. Yeah, because we're on 7, so I know they're not going to end on 8. I think it's 9. I'm gonna go with 9.
Oh
So y'all
wow,
let
we're
me know.
that
Hit me up
close
in the
to the end.
comments. Let me know. I think when I googled, it was 9. So
Oh
yeah. So
man,
Michael's like he saw 9. So yeah, when I googled, I saw 9. So
so we're
yeah,
two
I think
episodes
we're
away
at
from the
9
finale.
episodes. Yeah. So they about to turn up. They keeping us
Oh
in
man,
there. They're keeping us in that magical moment. So 9 episodes of the season, y'all. We getting there. So we staying in the we in the magic and the little butterflies and flowers right now. But we know something about to go down. It's about to get heat up. But I want to appreciate y'all. Everybody been throwing it in the comments, kicking with me and Josh, letting us vent, having fun with us. So, like we always say, follow us, get the little icon on the little subscription notify thing going on YouTube because we're gonna bring you these last 2 episodes. We ain't gonna leave you hanging. We about to finish this out with y'all. We're gonna be sitting over here like this at the screen with y'all, waiting to see how it goes down. Put up this, give Josh a little love for him if you want to kind of shoot him out some little comments and stuff. Hit him up on the game and tips because he might get back into the game. We never know,
I
so he
might,
might
I
hit that
might.
up.
I do. I
But
want
yeah,
to try
Josh,
it like all over again.
I do. I just want to get into it because I watch way too much of this gameplay to just be sitting on the sideline. So I just want to get into it with y'all. Josh gonna try to do it again. He gonna see what's going on with it. We appreciate y'all again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Josh, for ranting with me.
That's right. Happy to be here. Always holding it down.
And you know what? We'll see y'all again next week. We're gonna keep it going. We gotta finish this thing out. Bye.
See y'all.